It's kind of funny. We live in a world where you can have hundreds of friends online, thousands of followers, and still feel completely alone. You scroll, you like, you laugh, but when the phone screen goes dark, so does everything else. It's quiet again. You want to connect, but the idea of walking into a room full of people feels like stepping into another planet. You want to talk, but your mind goes blank. You want to be social, but it just doesn't feel easy, right? Well, what if I told you it actually is? What if I told you that becoming social is easier than you think? You just haven't been taught the right way to look at it yet. Today, I want to have a real conversation with you. Not a lecture, not a self-help speech, just a simple talk between you and me. Because I know what it feels like to want connection, but feel stuck. I know how draining it is to replay every conversation in your head and think, did I say the wrong thing? Did I sound weird? But here's the truth. Being social isn't a skill only extroverts are born with. It's something you can learn. And once you see how simple it really is, you'll never see people the same way again. So grab a drink, relax for a few minutes, and let's talk. Because by the end of this video, I want you to truly believe that becoming social is easy. Actually. Part 1. Understanding why you feel disconnected. Let's start with this. If you've ever felt awkward, invisible, or left out in social situations, there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain's just been trained to see social interactions as danger. When you were younger, maybe you got ignored, interrupted, or embarrassed. And ever since then, your brain labeled talking to people as something that might hurt. So every time you try to be social, your body responds like you're being chased by a lion. You start overthinking your words, your tone, your expression. You freeze. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is just trying to protect you. But here's the secret. Social confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about being comfortable with fear. Think of it like swimming. The first time you step into the water, it's cold. You panic a bit. You don't know how to float. But if you stay there long enough, your body adjusts. You learn. You move freely. Being social works the same way. You don't wait until you're ready. You just start small. You dip your toe in. You smile at someone. You say hi. You make eye contact. That's it. That's where it begins. You've been told that social people are confident because they never feel nervous, but the truth is, they still do. They've just practiced enough times to know the nerves won't kill them. Part 2. The small shift that changes everything. Here's a mindset shift that can completely change your life. Being social is not about impressing people, it's about expressing yourself. You don't need to perform, you don't need to have the perfect words, you just need to be present. When you focus on what people think of you, your brain goes into overdrive. But when you focus on understanding the other person, on genuinely being curious, your anxiety melts away. Let me ask you this. When you meet someone, what's going through your mind? Most people think, do they like me? But the real question should be, do I like them? That tiny change puts you back in control. Because when you're trying to make everyone like you give away your power. But when you're the one deciding who fits into your space, you suddenly relax. You're no longer begging for approval. You're building connection from equality. And that's what makes conversations flow naturally. Before we go deeper, hey, if this is resonating with you so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's keep going. Part 3. How to make people instantly feel comfortable around you. Let's make this practical. You want to be more social? Cool. But where do you start? Step 1. Start noticing people, not situations. When you walk into a room, don't think, oh, there are too many people here. Instead, notice one person who seems calm, kind, or even a bit quiet like you. Approach them with a simple, "Hey, how's it going?" You're not starting a TED Talk, you're starting a moment. Step 2, use the 3-second rule. When you see someone you could talk to, don't wait more than 3 seconds to act. Why? Because hesitation feeds fear. Your brain will start listing every reason not to do it. So you count 1, 2, 3, and you go. Say something simple. Ask a question. Comment on the environment. "Hey, this music's good. That's a nice hoodie. Where'd you get it?" It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is that you spoke. That's the real victory. Step 3, mirror energy, not personality. You don't need to be loud to fit in with loud people. You don't need to be funny to talk to funny people. You just need to match their energy level. If someone's calm, stay calm. If someone's excited, match that lightly. Mirroring creates comfort. It's a psychological bridge that says, "I get you." And comfort leads to connection. You see, people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. If they felt safe, seen, and understood, they'll want to talk to you again.
Part 4. The real reason you struggle and how to fix it. Let's be real for a second. A lot of people who say, "I'm just not social," aren't actually bad at being social. They're just afraid of being rejected. Rejection stings. It reminds you of moments when you weren't enough, when someone walked away, or ignored you, or made you feel small. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't proof you're not likable. It's proof that you're trying. Every social person you admire, the ones who make friends easily, who walk into a room like they belong, they've been rejected more times than you think. The only difference is they didn't stop. You can't avoid rejection, but you can train your brain to see it differently. The next time someone ignores your message, or doesn't laugh at your joke, or gives you short answers, instead of thinking, "I'm not interesting," try this thought. "Okay, not my person, moving on." That's it. You free yourself from the need for approval, and suddenly you become magnetic. Because people can feel when you're not desperate for validation. Confidence isn't loud, it's calm. And when you stop chasing people's attention, they start giving it to you naturally. Part 5. Building real friendships. Now that you know how to connect easily, let's talk about keeping those connections. Because anyone can make small talk, but real friendship takes intention. Here's the thing. You don't build friendships by talking every day. You build them by showing up consistently, in small, genuine ways. Text them once in a while. Check in when something reminds you of them. Celebrate their wins. Be kind without expectation. Over time, people start trusting your energy. They realize you're not just there when you're bored. You're there because you care. And that's how you stop feeling lonely. Not by meeting hundreds of people, but by connecting deeply with a few. You see, becoming social isn't about being popular. It's about being present. It's about giving others the same thing you crave: warmth, attention, understanding. The funny part is, when you give it first, it always comes back to you. Part 6. The mindset that makes it effortless. Let me give you a mindset that will instantly make you more social. Don't focus on being interesting. Focus on being interested. When you truly listen to someone, you make them feel like they matter. Ask questions that go beyond the surface. Instead of, "How are you?" try, "What's something exciting happening in your life right now?" When people feel seen, they open up. And that's when real connection happens. But the best part? You don't need to pretend. You just need to show up as yourself. Your quiet, observant, kind, slightly awkward self, and that's enough. Because people aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to authenticity. You've spent years thinking you had to change to fit in, but maybe all you had to do was relax into who you already are. Part 7. Becoming the person others feel safe around. Here's the thing about being social. It's not about talking more, it's about listening better. People don't crave conversation. They crave connection. They crave someone who won't judge them when they speak. Be that person. When you talk to someone, look them in the eyes. Don't plan your next sentence, just listen. Nod, smile, react. Because in that moment, you're not just another person, you're their safe space. And that's rare. That's why the quiet ones, like you, often make the best friends. Because you notice details. You care about emotions. You understand silence. Don't try to be louder. Try to be warmer. That's what makes you unforgettable. Part 8. Action steps. How to start today. Let's wrap up with something practical. Here's your simple plan to become more social starting today. Smile at 3 people. That's it. No words needed. Just a kind, small smile. Ask one person a question. It could be about their day, their work, or something they're wearing. Listen without interrupting. Let someone finish their thought fully. Send one message to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. A simple, "Hey, how have you been?" is enough. If you do these 4 things every day for a week, something will shift inside you. You'll stop feeling invisible. You'll start feeling connected. And then you'll realize you were never antisocial. You were just misunderstood. Listen, you're not broken. You're not weird. You're not behind. You're just someone who cares deeply and wants real connection in a world that sometimes feels fake. And that's your strength. Becoming social isn't about changing who you are. It's about remembering that connection is your natural state. You were born to connect, to laugh, to belong. So go out there. Say hi. Smile. Ask questions. Be curious. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. Because the truth is, becoming social is easy, actually. You just needed to believe it first. If this message spoke to you today, hit subscribe. Not just to support the channel, but to remind yourself that you're not alone in this journey. There's a whole community here growing with you. So take a deep breath, step outside your comfort zone, and remember, the world's not as scary as it seems. It's just waiting for you to say hello.